Hey, hello everyone. This is Kiran, and today we are going to talk about project setting in Jira. So let's learn how to do that. So first of all, we have to choose the project we want to do the setting on. Majorly, there are two types of settings. One is global setting and one is project setting. So global setting can be seen from the option here on the top right corner. So when you click on the settings, you get an option to do user management, billing, system setting, products, project issues, and apps, external apps, and account setting and personal Jira settings. So these are global settings. So we'll see some of them. But let's first open project setting tab and learn about it. So we have to just get inside a project on the board or the backlog, wherever you want to be. So we are on the Orange HRM project. So I've chosen Orange HRM project from here. And then we have to go to the left navigation section here, and when we scroll down, we reach to project setting option here, and we have to just click on it, and we can see a lot of options to do the setting on. So we can see how, okay, first there is details wherein we can change the name of the project whenever we want to. We can change the key. Let's say we don't want it to be OH, we want all the stories, tasks, or any issue to be starting with some other key. We can change it here. Category can be, we can just click on manage categories. Yeah, so we can choose the project category. So let's say add a new project category. So inside one project we can have different categories. So we can name and add the description and choose the category of the project. Okay, we'll go back. We'll go back to manage projects again. So there are various settings which will be helpful. Sometimes some of the toggles are automatically not on, so we cannot see some of the options in the project. So we have to switch them on from the settings. I'll show you how. So let's go back to project setting again. Yeah. So details, we were working on the details part. Let me go back there again. Yeah, so then we have, if you want to change the project lead, we can do it. What do you want to be as a default assignee? Suppose you want your assignee, whenever you are creating any issue, you don't want the default assignee to be unassigned. You want it to be some particular person, so or the project lead automatically. So that you can set from here. Okay, if you don't just want to be unassigned. So yeah, that is some setting which you can do in the details. We have accesses also. So we'll quickly see what is there. So suppose there's this person who is the administrator. So we can add more people, and assign them different rights or accesses in the project. So let's say I want to add Jishi, who is the teammate of the team which we have created. Okay, I can't see, just a second. Okay, the person should have accepted, the invitation. So let me accept the invitation from the email. Then I can choose. So this person has accepted. That's why this person is coming. So let's say we'll go to this Preeti's email, and we'll accept the invitation. Just a second. Yeah, so I'll refresh and see if I can add more people. I will also accept invitation from the Jishi's email. Just a second. Okay, so join the team. Now, after, okay. Just a second. It will take a bit of the time. I'm just accepting the invitation. So I'll check if I can get more people here to provide different accesses. Okay, member. Let's say I want to just add them as a member. Okay, anyone with access to this site can access the administer this project, can access and administer this project. If you want to customize this project permission, we have to upgrade the plan. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to add people. Let's add people first. See, clicking on add people and then adding more members from the team which we have created. So we have created another team, so we have to add it to the project. Now we have added. Now what we can do, once the members are added, I can see all of them here, new people added. See, now we can visualize them, right? Now once we have added, now what we have to do is we can change their roles. Yeah. Okay, it's saying that project roles aren't editable in the trial version, but when we upgrade it or when we buy the license, the project roles can be upgraded or can be edited. We can change the roles as per the requirements. So let's say one person can be admin and others can be just members or viewers of the project. So that's about the accesses. Then we have notifications, very important, which all Jira notifications we want in our emails that can be customized here. See, we have linked our Slack to this Jira. Similarly, we can link Microsoft Teams or any other application to Jira, so that the communication, so in Slack, when you're mentioning in a Jira ID, it will go there as a link and it can be directly opened from Slack. So that's the beauty of linking any communication channel to Jira while you're creating the project. So anyways, notification is for email. Let's say issues created. So whenever any new issue is created, what do you want? You want an email notification, yes or no? So who all should be the recipients? All the watchers. Now who is a watcher? I'll let you know. Just give me a moment. Let me open one of the tickets. So in that case, we can see who is the watcher. So what I do, I'll just go to the board and open one of the tickets. Just give me a moment. So let's say we go to one of the issues which we have created, OH44. So I want to become the watcher of this ticket. So a watcher is a person who will get to know all the updates on a particular ticket. So as a project lead, let's say you want to see what's going on in one of the issues which is very important or crucial. So in that case, you can become a watcher of that particular issue and you will be able to know whatever is going on. So let's say I have opened OH44 and this is the watcher options, watch options. So when I click on it, so I am already watching this issue. So if had I not been watching this issue, I could have become the watcher. Since I have created this issue, so I have become a default watcher. So let's say something is created from some other teammates and you want to watch it, so you can become a watcher of that. So going back to the settings page, just a second. I'm just closing extra tabs so that there is less confusions. Now, so you want whenever there is a new issue created, you want the emails to be sent to all the watchers, current assignee and reporter, or you want to edit it. You don't want the emails to reach to watchers or the current assignee and the reporter. So you can edit it from here. So when we click on edit, we can change these. You only want to send the email to the reporter. So we can just remove them from here and save it, right? Let's say I don't want the watchers to get an email in case of issue created. So that setting can be done by the Jira administrator. So when I remove, you can see all watchers just went away. So in case of issue creation, the watchers will not get any more emails. So that's how customized Jira can be. Like anything can be set as per the requirement, and the entire project can be very much customizable. So let's say there's issue deleted. So in case any issue is getting deleted, who all you want to know about the deletion. So since clients are also given accesses to projects in Jira, so this is very important that we do proper settings, what we want them to know, what we want them to see, or what we want our project teammates to know and see. And of course, it's a very transparent tool. Everybody gets to see what everybody else is working on. But at the same time, the admin can do a lot of settings which will make, let's say you don't want anybody else to delete, right? So we can do that permission settings also. So a lot of settings is available here in Jira. Now, issue comment edited. So whatever, these are all the events which happen and who all should get the email notifications. So that's about the notification settings. We'll get back to automation in the next video. So issue types, let's go to issue types. What do we mean by issue types? So there are different issues: bugs, story, task, subtask, and we can add more issue types. Let's say we want to create a new issue type which is features. So I can just click on add issue type and I can name it as a feature. Suppose new feature if I want to develop, or if I want to add an issue as questions. If anybody in the team wants to ask questions to the management, then the new issue type can be created which will be question, and then people can ask questions. So description, I can change the icon if I want to, like a new feature. Let's say I don't want this icon, I want some other icon for new feature. So I can upload picture or choose from whatever is available. Let's say I want the feature to look something like this. So I can just select, or maybe this, no, this is for Epic or something. So I'll just select this one and create, a new issue type which is features. So you saw, see, bug, Epic, feature, story, task, new issue type got created. I can customize their fields also. Let's say you want to create a story. So when you're creating a story, what all fields are there by default? Let's say summary is there, work log is something is there, start date, description is there. But while creating tasks, let's say what all default settings have been done. Let's say description fields, context fields, and so on. So let's say I want to add work log here. Okay, so in the context field, what I'll do, I'll edit it from the 3 dots here. Oh no, sorry, this is for deleting. Let's say I want to add create a field, right? Timestamp and just a second. And I'll name it as work log. Where did it go? Okay. And you want it to be required, you want this field to be required. So you can just create it and save changes. Okay, you can also just a second, field name. Okay, this I have just remove. So I've added one work log in the. So what kind of field you want to create? You want to create a text field. Let's say you just want to mention more things. Let's say steps to reproduce. You want to create another field like steps to reproduce. You can add short text. Paragraph, description, you can add paragraph. Date field, if you want to, start date, end date of the project. If you want to add, you can add them and make it as required if you want it as default option. Then numbers, timestamp, labels, drop down, and a lot more options are available. So you can do all the settings of a issue from this option. Okay, subtask is also there. Subtask is majorly the child task of any task. Let's say I open one of the tasks which is OH29. Okay, so I open this and let it open in a new tab. So here we go. Now I want to create a subtask of this. Okay, so what is the status of this OH29 right now? Let us check that. To do. Fine. I want to add a child issue. So I'll just click on this. The moment I add a child issue, I have to just name it. What is this task about? Okay, there's no name we have created. So let's say subtask of 13, task 13 or something. The name can be anything, that is fine. So what are usually subtasks? So when we take the example in the project, we'll see that. So suppose, let's say the task is about writing testing task is the task. So in that we can create subtasks like writing test cases, executing test cases, and marking bugs. So we can create subtasks. So subtask of task 13, let me create it. So it by default got created as a subtask icon, if you can see here, because it is a child issue, right? So we have already seen linking issue in the previous sessions, so you know what to do. So adding a child issue creates a subtask by default. Okay, going back to the project setting tab again. So this was about setting. I'll go back to project setting again. Yeah. So this was about issue types. Let's go to features. This is important. What happens here in feature, there are a lot of project features which are available. Like what all you want to see in this, like here when we go to any project, I'll just go to a project again. So you want to see roadmap. So if I just close roadmap from here, you cannot see roadmap anymore. So if you just refresh this page, you will not be seeing roadmap because I have switched off the toggle from the project settings. So usually sometimes you will see when you're in the project, you cannot see the reports option. It happens in the beginning of the, by default, the report option is not available. So you have to do nothing. You just simply need to get inside the project setting tab. You have to switch on the toggle of the reports and you'll get the reports option here. So from the features option in the project settings. Similarly here you can see the roadmap just went away because we have switched it off. So the whatever toggles you want, you can just switch it on. Backlog, boards, of course it's a default one, so it's there. Reports can be switched off and on. Issue navigator, if at all you want to see what is the current status of the issue and everything. So whatever you want, you can switch it on. Sprints, estimations, code releases, deployments, on call, and project pages. So whatever you want will be available, rest can be switched off. Okay, so that is about the feature tab. So reports are mostly switched off in the beginning, so you can switch it on from the project setting and inside that features option. Okay, so that is about features. Now in the board you can do a lot of customization. So let me open a board for you. This is the board, right? We have to do, in progress, and done. We can customize the columns. As I told you in the beginning, we can add columns and rename them. Like we want to have to do, then in progress, then in coding, then code review, then ready to test, and then in testing, and then demo. So we can create so many columns as per the requirements. That is a better, so because so many different people are working in the team, everybody has different roles, so that these different columns will make their work more relatable. So that's where customization will be helpful when we are actually creating the board. So what you can do is you can add from there itself in the board, and here also you can add, right? So there is 0 issues in the done. In progress you have 5 issue, and to do in to do there are 25 issues, and so on, right? So you can add more issues, and you can name them as something. You can suppose you want let's say I will add another column and name it as QA, like testing. I've added it, and I want it to be before done, right? Because I don't want the QA to be the last step, so I can just drag and drop it. So I can just drag and keep it here. I think I just moved it a little ahead, so I will just move it back after in progress. Okay, so here we go, to do, in progress, QA, and then done. Okay, so that's how you can add columns here. Custom filters are available. Let's say you want to some filters automatically you want to create. You want to save filters from here. Suppose you want to know all the bugs which are of high priority. So you can give them some labels and then create a filter based on that, and then use the filter automatically, right? Roadmap, we have already seen how is it progressing, how many user stories are linked to one epic, and how many tasks are associated to one user story. So the roadmap is very important. Insights, we have already seen in the previous session that it gives you an idea while the sprint is progressing. It gives you a good idea how many issues are there, what are the how many assignees are there to that, and epic progress, sprint burn down progress, sprint progress, anything can be seen from the board insight setting. Which all setting you want to switch off and on can be done from here, from the project setting. Now apps will come back later in the next video. So for now, these are the project setting here in the board. Let me go back and see what else option we have here. Yeah, let me go back to project setting again. Yeah, so board is about it. Now let me show you how to log work in Jira. So let's say I want to go and I want to create another story. So project name is Orange HRM. The issue type is story. See, I can see more options added here. I can see epic, I can see bug, I can also see feature, which we just now added in the project setting. We added a new issue type, isn't it? So we can see that option also now. Anyways, one watcher, the person who is actually raising, status is to do, summary is, story is about, let's say the story is developing cart page, something like that. So work log, so you can this is like timestamp created, so you can select the date and time. So this is usually for marking the date, as in estimations can be done from here because we have created this field. That's why it looks like this. So let's say start date is today's date and time will be today's current time. Just a second. PM. Start date will be the current date, today's date. So this actually, is default because we have added it in the story setting. Okay. So assignee, if I want to assign it to myself or some team members, that is fine. Let me assign it to somebody else. To Preeti. I can add a label. So this is a story. So development story or something like that. I can create a label. I can create a new label. Yeah. Sprint I can select. Let's say third sprint or something. I have selected the third sprint. It is clearly telling me that if you're adding new issues in the ongoing sprint, the scope will be affected, right? This is true, that whenever we want to add something in between, there should be a warning. Okay. Story point estimations we can give from here. And I can attach some screenshots. And then this issue, if at all it is linked to or blocking anything, I can add that. Now create. So OH46, it got created. Yes. So it's showing me the start date as this. I will customize, actually I will delete this work log option from the settings, project setting, because work log doesn't work actually like this. We have to mark the number of hours we have invested in that. Okay. So what I'll do right now, I'll go to the project setting again. So how we have to go? We have to click on project setting. We have to go on to issue types, right? And then we have to go to stories. And remove the newly created field. So I've kept it as a required option, so I have to just go there and remove it. Okay, let me just remove it. Now, so this is description fields, which is having summary, start date and description. Okay, you don't want the description to be a required. Whatever mandatory you want to make, you can make things mandatory from here. So if you don't want it to be mandatory, then you can just keep it like that. But if you want something to be mandatory, you can make it as required option. Let's say I want the description to be mandatory. So in that case, I have to just check box, click on this check box of required, and it will become mandatory. Now, I right now don't want to do that. Status is important. Yes, just give me a moment. So this effort, we can give an option for estimation. Like suppose we want to see that a particular project is going on and how many hours have been invested and all. For that, we have to go to this option, your profile setting. Now, how do we see that we have the time tracking option available in the issues which we are creating? For that, first of all, we have to go to the global setting. So we have to go to the setting icon here, the global setting, then click on it and scroll down and go to the issues option. So when you go to the issue option, on the left navigation panel, you can just check for time tracking. So you have to click on time tracking, and when you click on time tracking, you will get an option to see that the time tracking is enabled or not. So we can see here that it is enabled for us. Yeah, so Jira provided time tracking and it is enabled for us, right? Now, if it is enabled, we will get an option to see the time tracking. But at the same time, we also need to go to the project settings. So what we have to do, we have to go to the Orange HRM project. We have to go to the project settings. Let me go back to the project and then open the project setting again for you. So let's say we are on to the project, and then we'll go down and open the project setting. In that, you have to just scroll down and go to features option. In that features option, you have to scroll down and enable the estimation tab. Okay. So you have to enable the estimation, and in that by default story pointer will be available. You have to select time so that you can mark the time in case of hours or minutes and days. So the default, if you don't write, let's say you've written 5, only 5, then it will take it as days. If you write 5H, that means 5 hours, or 5M, that means 5 minutes. Okay. So you have to select time, and then when you go to any of the tickets and just refresh it, you'll get an option to see that you have work log option also available. So let's say I want to log some work for this ticket. I have already worked for 8 hours or so. So I can directly go to this work log option and I can log some work. So no time logged so far, right? You can see on the right side, no time logged. So I'll go to the work log option. I will log work here. And let's say I've given 6 hours of my time. So I'll write 6H and save it. So logged hours is 6. So what we have to do when we are creating the ticket, we should write some original estimation that we have, we wanted to invest 8 hours in this. And I have already invested 6 hours. So remaining will come, which is 8 hours is 1 day. Okay. 8 hours is 1 day. So I'll get a time tracking that, okay, 2 hours time I have for this ticket. So just give me a moment. That's how everybody can log work in the team, and their work can be managed, and we can have a very good representation of what is the progress and how many hours we have with us and how many hours. So let's say one person works for 40 hours in a week. So we can do the calculations accordingly. So does the person have 40 hours of work, and then how many hours he has already invested, and so on, right? So let's go to another ticket. Let's go to some other ticket, let's say. So let's say I open something like this, OH33. Now there. So let me log some work on this. So if I'm logging some work, let's say I have worked for 3 hours in this, and original estimation was 2 hours only. Estimation was given as 2 hours, but I'm actually logging more hours. The estimations can be different from what actual work requires. That's okay. Weeks, days, hours, minutes. Okay. So start it. Is this save? So time tracking shows that 3 hours is logged, and we have exceeded 1 over original estimate, right? What we can do is, let's say I log, let's say I change the estimation to 4 hours or 5 hours, let's say. So the time tracking will tell me differently. It will tell me the 3 hours are logged, and 2 hours still we have it, right? So that's how work can be logged, and everybody can have a realization of how much hours are left with them and how they can use it. Now here in the user management, so what we can do here in the user management tab, I can directly add anybody, total users, active users, and one is the only person who is the admin, right? So we can add more admin if we want to, and number of this person has been invited but this person has not accepted or something, so we can resend the invite from here, and then so if we have more people, we'll have more paginations here. We can create groups, as we can create different groups. So these groups, like let's say there's Confluence admins, then Jira admins, and things like that. So we can create site admins. So we can create different groups and add more people to the group and give them different privileges, right? So that is useful, that we can do using the user management tab, right? So that was just about how we can log work in Jira, how we can do project setting in Jira. In the next session, we'll be learning about automation, and we'll also be talking about how external apps can be connected, or Jira Marketplace rather. So that's all for today. We'll meet in the next session. Thank you.